Hello students. In the previous lesson you have already learned about morphology of stem. In this lesson you are going to learn about morphology of leaf. Now, if you observe a China rose leaf, you will be able to recognize some common parts. The first one that you get to see is the leaf base. And this part of the leaf is basically attached to the stem or the branch. Also, in some plants, a leaf-like growth arises from the side of the leaf base, and that is called stipules. This you can see here from the diagram. These are stipules. This type of stipule is basically noticed at the leaf base of a pea. Now, next common part is the stipule. This stipule is the uh, outgrowth or lateral appendages that is often found in the leaf base, and these stipules are basically there to prevent insects from attacking the developing leaf. Now, coming to the petiole. Now this petiole is the stem-like part of the leaf that joins the blade of the stem, as you can see in the diagram. Now there may be some leaves that connect directly and don't have petioles. Now leaves attached by a petiole that are called petiolate, and leaves which connect directly are called sessile. Okay, now coming to the function of this petiole. Now the petiole helps to position the leaf in such a way that it can get sufficient sunlight. Moreover, its main function, is to pass on the water and minerals produced in the stem to the leaf blade. Okay, now coming to another common part, that is the leaf lamina. This one. Now, this is the major part of the leaf and are also called the blade. It is usually large and flat, as you can see here. The flat and extended green part next to the petiole is the lamina, and it is in this layer the photosynthesis occur. Now, coming to the veins. Veins, as you can see in the diagram here, these are all veins. These are all veins. These veins run from the tip of the petiole from here, okay, from here to the other end of the leaf blade, meaning this part. Now, it also, as you can see in the diagram, that there is the mid vein here. Now, from the mid vein originates veins and vein inlets. So, this is the midrib, and these are the veins, and sub branches are known as veinlets. Now, the edge of the lamina is the leaf margin, this one. These are the leaf margin. Now the cells of the lamina, mainly those near the surface of the leaf, they contain a high volume of chloroplast which carry out photosynthesis. And this photosynthesis occurs in this blade, this one, which has many green food making cells. Now, leaf blades basically differ from one another in several ways. It can be uh, based on the types of edges, the patterns of the veins, the number of blades per leaf, and it is characterized by green color, as you can see in the diagram, thinness and smoothness. Okay, now coming to the venation. Now, what is the venation all about? Venation is basically a phenomena of arrangement of veins in the lamina of the leaf surface, and it is of three types, but we are going to learn only the two types, that is the reticulate and the parallel venation. The first one is the reticulate venation. Now, in this reticulate venation, as you can see in the diagram here, the veins are forming a network like structure. They are interconnected and form a wave-like network structure which is present on both the sides of the midrib. And this is observed in the leaves of dicot plant like mango, hibiscus. Okay. Next, coming to the parallel venation, that is, as you can see in the diagram here, the veins arise from the midrib and run parallel. See, it is running parallel to each other from the petiole, this one, to the leaf tip. And this is observed in the leaves of monocot plants like banana, bamboo, wheat, grasses, maize. Okay, now we are going to talk about the leaf arrangements. Now, before we talk about the leaf arrangement, we need to know what is node. Now, nodes are the points to which the leaves are attached. Now, leaf arrangement based on stem, it can be classified into three types. The first one that we get to see is the alternate node. Next is opposite, and the third one is whorled. Now, in the alternate type, you will see that a single node is attached to the stem at a node here, this part, and the next adjacent leaf on the stem points are in different direction like this. So it is somewhat alternate, that is why it is so named. Next, coming to the opposite. Now if the two leaves, as you can see here, they occur at the same node and are 180-degree apart like this, then it is known as opposite leaf arrangement. Again, here, if you see that three or more leaves are attached at the same node, it forms a whorled leaf arrangement. Okay. Now, coming to the leaf arrangements based on petiole. There are two types of leaf arrangements that we get to see. One is the simple leaf and next is the compound leaf. Simple leaf is what? Where there is a single leaf here like this, and the single leaf is on a petiole or a stalk. Okay. Now, in many cases, as you can see here, the leaf is subdivided into subparts or leaflets, and these are called compound leaves. Now, these compound leaves can be of different types. The first one which we are going to learn is the pinnately compound. The pinnately compound means if the leaves are formed in a feathery like appearance like this part. This is known as pinnately compound. Now, if a leaf with its leaflets radiating from one point like this part, if you see the fingers of your palm, you will see that it is arising from a particular source, from one point. So likewise, this leaf, as you can see in the diagram, It is radiating from one point like the fingers, and that is known as palmately compound leaf. The next one that we get to see is the double pinnate compound, that is here, where it will be like a feather like leaflets, but if this feather like leaflets themselves are divided into small feather like leaflets like this, you can see here small feather like this part, so there are smaller feather like leaflets present here, that is called doubly pinnate. Okay, now coming to the leaf shape. Leaf shape can be of different types, as you can see in the diagram here. The first one that you get to see is the elliptic. Here the leaves are basically the broadest in the middle and narrower at the tip or at the either tip. Okay, now coming to the next one, that is the linear. Here the leaves are long, as you can see here. The leaves are long and narrow, with the sides being close to parallel to each other. That is why it is known as linear. Next is lanceolate. Here, as you can see in the diagram, the leaves are much longer with the widest point below the middle of the leaf. Next, coming to the spatulate. Here, the leaves, if you have seen spatula, you will find that it looks like a spatula. Okay, with the tip being rounded and gradually tapering at the base. Next, coming to ovate. Here, the leaves are somewhat egg-shaped, lacking a pointed leaf. Here, it is lacking. Next is cordate. As you can see in the diagram here, it is somewhat heart-shaped. Now coming to the modifications of leaf. There are different types of leaf modifications. Now the first one which you get to see is the spines. Spines, the leaves are basically modified into a pointed like structure. Okay, like this part, as you can see in the opuntia, commonly known as cactus. Here the leaves are modified into a pointed structure. Why it is modified? In order to protect themselves from herbivores and also to reduce transpiration. Next is tendril. The leaves are basically modified into slender, wiry and coil-like structure, as you can see in Pisum sativum, that is the pea plant, and this actually support the climbers to climb. Okay, another leaf modification that you get to see is phyllodes, and this you can see in acacia, where the petiole of the leaf carries out the photosynthesis. Another interesting modification that you are going to learn about leaf is the leaf pitcher. Here, the lamina of the whole leaf is modified into a lid, as you can see in the diagram, and this is known as pitcher, which traps the insects to fulfill the need of the nitrogen. And this is found in Venus flytrap. Now, what is this Venus flytrap? Now, just for your knowledge, it is a carnivorous plant. Okay, And as you can see in the diagram, the leaves are open wide. Okay, and there are some short as well as stiff hairs. This part. These hairs are very sensitive by nature. Now, when anything touches, be it insect also, if this insect touches these hairs, the two lobes that you get to see here, this lobe and this lobe. Okay, as soon as any insect or anything touches these hairs, these two lobes will get closed, and whatever touches it will get trapped inside. Do you know what is the meaning of trap? Trap basically means to get hold of something or to catch something. And this trapping will be done in less than a second. Okay, so this is an interesting modification of leaf. Now, coming to the functions of the leaf. Now, the basic function of the leaf is photosynthesis. Now, leaf is actually called the kitchen of the plant. Why? Because they are the main organ responsible for the photosynthesis. This is the process through which plant produces its energy, that is its food, and they obtain the green color because of the presence of chloroplast inside it. Another important function is that it helps the plant to breathe. Now, the epidermis of the leaf, it contains, guard cells, and these guard cells control and also regulate the small pores on the undersurface of the leaves, and these small pores are called stomata. Okay. Now, stomata are basically responsible for regulating water in and out of the cell. It is also responsible for the exchange of gases across the epidermis. Another important function of leaf is storage of food. Now, in some plants, the leaves are modified in such a manner that it can store food. And these plants generally have succulent leaves, as you can see in the opuntia or in xerophytic plants, in any of the xerophytic plants. Next is evaporation of water. Now, the excess water that is present in the plant evaporates through the stomata on the leaves. I have already told you about stomata. So, this is a process known as transpiration. Next important function is vegetative propagation, where the leaves of some plants produce buds on them, and these buds can grow into a new plant, like we get to see in bryophyllum. Okay, so this was all about the morphology of leaf. Hope you have understood. In the next lesson, we are going to learn about the morphology of flower, different types, different parts of flower. Till then, thank you.